What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. And today's a special day. Also, January is just filled with special days for me. It's January the 10th. It's my girl Kirsty's birthday. And I just wanted to start off this video by, wishing her happy birthday. But this video is not going to be about her birthday. That's, personal. What this video is going to be about is going to be the ordeal we're going to have to face later on. Now, it's like 5-ish in the afternoon. She gets off work at 6, and we're going to go out and have a nice dinner. The problem here is the dinner spot we're going to, just a real simple chicken wing restaurant. The traffic there is almost unbearable. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that I'm sitting next to someone that I cherish and love, I probably couldn't bear going through that entire traffic situation of that place. The biggest problem there being really the roads aren't big enough, or there's not enough road to handle all the cars coming through. But another part of it is driver error and just basically a lack of competence from the drivers driving on the road. I know that seems like a huge problem, that's not going to go away anytime soon, and for sure it's probably not going to go away anytime soon, but there is hope. There is hope for the future, and that's in the shape of driverless or autonomous cars. Now, autonomous cars, when the words roll off your tongue, it seems kind of crazy to think about. Like, it's not possible, not in our lifetime. This isn't Star Trek or Star Wars. What are you talking about? But the reality is, driverless or autonomous driving tech is here. Right now, the king of the road, basically, when it comes to driverless tech, is Tesla with their Model S. Once you get a certain upgrade, or once you get a certain model, it basically is able to self-drive. The car is able to drive itself in a very limited fashion. Definitely, you'll still have to make turns yourself. However, though, they have been making huge improvements to it. In fact, the latest update they have is that the car can basically park itself now. At the press of a button, the car comes out of the garage, goes to your front door, and it can get you to work without you ever really thinking about the driving process. I like driving. Driving is a cathartic process for me. Going fast and being able to go places, it's nice. But to some people, driving is a chore, and probably the driving tech of the future is going to be geared more towards those people, or for people who drive for a long time, or who drive for really long periods of time. And sometimes you just gotta knock off. You just gotta relax a little bit. So the driving tech of the future is already here, and it's basically almost ready for prime time. They're not the only people, though, getting into this space. And once Google and Tesla proves that, look, electric cars are doable, and autonomous driving is definitely doable also, everyone got on the bandwagon. You've got Hyundai, Mercedes, I think Chevy's working on something, and another company called Faraday Future. The gist of it is that autonomous driving technology within the next 10 years is definitely, it's going to hit mainstream. And we're going to talk about this in literally just two parts. First of all is the actual cars themselves. Hyundai and Mercedes have basically taken the route of retrofitting existing car models and testing out if they can handle autonomous driving, and it turns out they can. Hyundai's been doing this with their battery-powered Ioniq. People who went to CES tried this autonomous driving system out. It's basically almost 90% there. Mercedes also did the same thing. They took an E-Class, a production E-Class, outfitted it out the ass with sensors, made sure that the computer on board had everything it needed to function as an autonomous vehicle, and it works. So basically, the software is there now, the computing power is there now, and definitely 5 to 10 years mainstream, I tell you right now. These are kind of just like efforts, though, of the existing production companies, existing companies that are looking at autonomous driving as literally just the next big feature, an upgrade, the next trim level, if you will, Though, I mean, you have to think about that. These companies are known for their mechanical and hardware prowess, but I mean, where are they sourcing the technology to do the AI to run these things? And NVIDIA actually is one of the bigger people working on a platform for autonomous driving. Now, Google has been working on their own, autonomous driving or their autonomous vehicle, but that's more like an in-house project. NVIDIA, however, has developed an AI, and basically they've partnered up with a bunch of different manufacturers. I think they partnered with Fiat, they partnered with Mercedes, and they are supplying these companies the AI necessary to let these cars drive on the roads by themselves. There are other companies, though, that are looking to the far future and have decided basically that existing companies don't have what it takes to really build the car of the future. So a bunch of employees, ex-employees from Tesla, got together and created a company called Faraday Future. Last year they came to CES and they presented their 01 concept, and it was basically just this huge supercar that completely runs on batteries and it goes fast. It goes really, really fast. But I mean, it's a supercar, it's ridiculously expensive, it's not even street legal. This year though, at CES, they came to town and they basically presented something close to a production model. Not a concept car, but close to being a production model. It's called the FF91. It's completely battery powered. It looks a lot, it feels a lot like a Tesla, but it has its own tricks up its sleeve. Granted, it has more sensors than a Tesla. It looks like it might be better, or it might be better equipped for self-driving than the Tesla. But the actual question here is whether FF or Faraday Future can bring this car to market. Tesla, we know for a fact, has been able to produce these cars, the Tesla Model S, the X, and soon the Model 3s. These are things that they're almost ubiquitous enough that they become like daily occurrences across the world. With Faraday Future, however, their car is ambitious. It's ridiculously ambitious. As a comparison, Tesla is more like a Lexus kind of brand or a very high-end Toyota. Faraday Future here is kind of aiming to be like a top-tier Mercedes or a top-tier Cadillac. It's a very high bar they're setting for themselves, and I worry if that might cause them to fail. Competition is always really good. Just the sense that people are now starting to realize that traffic is a huge problem, and autonomous driving and autonomous driving vehicles are going to be one of the solutions to that. My whole takeaway from this entire situation, from all these things I've seen from CES 2017, is that the future is this close. I'm fairly certain these cars will have trouble working here in the Philippines, but as soon as autonomous driving, electric vehicles, and these more high-end futuristic cars become normalized abroad, it's gonna be only a matter of time before they start trickling down. There are loads and loads and loads of advantages to using autonomous vehicles. It's not just about the convenience of the individual people driving their cars, but as a system as a whole, it improves the efficiency of your road network. But that's a completely different video for another time, and I'm just going to end this video today by saying that it's a very interesting time to be alive. It feels like we're seeing just the crest, the horizon here of what is possible, and a lot of innovators now are having their ideas heard and funded, and in fact being built. We'll have to see how this autonomous features, the autonomous driving, comes to play in the future, but I'm fairly certain it's gonna come to the mainstream, it's gonna become the norm, and I'm just glad that finally everyone kind of settled on like a standardized approach to how autonomous driving is done. There is something to be said about who's liable if an autonomous car crashes, but as we've seen, autonomous vehicles are actually better at detecting accidents than humans are. So there's that. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section down below, would you trust your life and the life of your loved ones to an autonomous vehicle? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you enjoyed this video, you can share it. You can also go like me on Facebook. The link is down there. And again, thank you for tuning in. This has been Lou. I will see you guys tomorrow. You stay awesome. Peace.